Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Room. All right, y'all. So, as you can see by the title, we're going to talk about kids and money, but not the way that you think. This is a topic that is kind of sensitive, and I have my view on it, and I'm going to stand my ground on my view on it because I experienced it in my childhood and I did not like it. I understand that sometimes it was out of my control. Most of the time it was out of my control, but I do not want to perpetuate that cycle with my kids. So let's get into the video. All right, y'all. So let's get into this video about kids and money. So a little bit of background of the reason why I have this opinion on kids and money is, growing up with a single mom who worked very hard to give us as much as she could, Sometimes there were times where she just didn't have it. And if one of us happened to have money for maybe a birthday or, a special occasion that happened, like graduation, like, how you have like middle school graduation, stuff like that, people give you money, stuff like that. If she didn't have it, she would sometimes ask us to borrow our money. And sometimes she would pay us back, sometimes she wouldn't. But that's how I formed this opinion on why I will not take my kids' money from them. Because first off, yes, we understand that adults go through financial issues, but as an adult, we should try to protect our kids as much as possible from experiencing our financial troubles. And just know, I feel like kids should be able to be kids without thinking about the struggles or the problems that their parents are facing. Sometimes it's just too hard, and I understand that. But as an adult, I feel like the last person that you should be asking money from is a kid. One, because it's a kid. The kid cannot go out into the workforce, go out into the world and make more money for themselves. Unless, then maybe they do like little candy shops, but that most kids don't do that. An average kid is not out there hustling. But those kids are produced from having parents, seeing their parents struggle, they want to help. And it's really not their responsibility to help. We brought them into this world. We brought them in here. So it's our job to be financially prepared for them. And if we are not financially prepared, or we're becoming financially prepared, we're working towards it, we should be asking other adults that are capable, financially capable, of going out in the workforce and getting more money and not having to worry and not having to, it's not going to affect them the way it would affect the kid. You don't want it. An adult that has a job is not going to stress as much if another adult asks them for money, unless they don't have it themselves. Then they can just say no. But a kid, it also makes the kid feel guilty if their parents ask them and the parent said, and the child says, "No, mommy, it's my money." And you say no, give it to me, because I know some parents. So you got some rough parents out there. No, give it to me. I said, give it to me. My mom was not like that, but there are parents out there that just don't care. It's this is just a kid. It don't matter. Their feelings don't matter. Their opinion don't matter. And truthfully, it does. And that's how you get traumatized kids. Okay? Trauma doesn't have to be super just horrible, but just different experiences that make them uncomfortable, that made them feel not seen, that made them feel like they weren't heard, that they weren't respected. Those things like that, and situations like that where you're taking money from a child that doesn't have an allowance maybe, or doesn't have they're a kid. They're a kid. At the end of the day, they're a kid. Let them be a kid. Let them spend their money, or let them save their money. Do not ask kids for their money. No. We are too capable as adults to go out there and make money. If you need money, you can go donate plasma. You can go donate some eggs. You can donate sperm. You can donate all these things. You can create a business. You can do hair. You can do nails. You could do that. There's so many other things that we can do to generate money for ourselves that we should not have to go to a kid who's supposed to be focusing on being a kid, focusing going to school, cleaning their room, just being a kid. Don't traumatize the kids. Don't traumatize the kids. Just because your parent did it to you does not mean that this is okay. That's how we get generational patterns of broken people, because we're not changing the patterns, that things that happened to us that made us feel uncomfortable, and we're not realizing that we're doing the same thing to our own kids. And that's one thing where I am very self-aware about. There's things that I did not like that happened to me, or ways that I felt as I was growing up, that I don't want to perpetuate onto my kids. No matter how upset I am, no matter how low in life I am, I would just not do that. And the money thing is a big one for me. It's big. I'm gonna ask an adult before I ask a kid. I will always, that should be your mindset. Ask an adult before you ask a kid. That should be everyone's mindset when it comes to money and kids. Ask an adult before you ask a kid. Cause it's like you're taking advantage of them being a kid, their innocence, their willingness to want to please their mom and make their parents happy. It's like, yeah, I'll give you. Some kids be like, I'll give it, and some kids like, no, like, this is mine. And you know, no matter what kid you have, you shouldn't even be presenting that as an option to them. They should just know that, hey, that's their money. Somebody gave that to them. That is theirs to spend. That is theirs to save. That is their money. We as adults have to just be more financially responsible. That's our obligation to our kids, to provide the best opportunities and give them the best life that we possibly can, without traumatizing them. Without traumatizing them. And if you don't know how to break the cycles and the patterns that you have grown accustomed to growing up in certain environments, then you need to go to therapy. You need to go to people that you look up to, that you know parent differently than you, that you know think about life differently, that are smarter than you, that can help you in any type of way, so that you're not bringing your baggage and your trauma and your pressures of life and putting on your kids. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Okay? That is my opinion on that. And I feel very strongly about that. Very, very strongly. And I just hope that, like, it opens up somebody's eyes and makes them think about things differently. It makes them change their ways in some way, shape, or form, to not traumatize their kids like that. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Ask an adult before you ask a kid. That's my motto. Thinking about things. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am the lender and not the borrower. That's what you should be thinking about. That's what you should be thinking about. Okay? But that's the end of this video. I love y'all. Peace. We are leaving the roast room.